You know, I've filmed an intro now about fucking 5 times and I can't seem to get my words out. I can't seem to make it correct. But then I think to myself, I've just thought to myself, am I overthinking it? You know, am I worrying about something that don't really matter? This is not like a professional TV show or one of the top of the range YouTubers, because that is not what I am. I'm just doing this for me, you know, just a bit of fun. But anyway, I try and make it as good as I can, even though it isn't. Anyway, right, it's Saturday morning. I've just hit the A1. I'm not going out too far today for reasons that I shall explain shortly. Right, so I've come out to Stotfold, about 10 miles away from Stevenage, just come up to the cemetery to have a walk round while it's early and quiet. Thursday night, went to bed, all was well, had a good day at work, it was a nice day, got quite a lot done. Woke up early hours Friday morning, I don't know, was it about 2 o'clock, a bit before that, with extreme chest pain. So with any chest pain, it's frightening. So I got out of bed, went to the bathroom, broke into this, what I can only explain as it wasn't a cold sweat, but I remember I was really hot and the sweat was pouring off me and I was fucking terrified. You know, I couldn't, I've had chest pain before, but I couldn't work out what this one was. I've had pulled muscles in my chest before, and this just didn't feel like that. This didn't feel right. The heart rate itself wasn't overly high, and I wasn't suffering from a shortness of breath neither, but it was enough to set me into a panic. So I took a couple of minutes, I sat down just to see whether it'd ease off, and it started to ease off, but then it come back, and that's when I hopped into the car. Maybe that was silly, maybe I should have called an ambulance, I don't know, but I hopped into the car and took myself off to A&E. Got to A&E, of course it was jam-packed. I sat outside for a while on the bench trying to make a decision whether I was doing the right thing or whether I was being stupid. But the longer I waited, the more fear started to grow inside me, and at this point my heart rate was up. The pain was still there, hadn't backed off. There was no dizziness with it. I'm not saying no shortness of breath, but a panic had overwhelmed me. So anyway, I plucked up the courage to go in. I got checked in. Probably about half an hour later I got to see a triage person who took me blood pressure, you know, when my heart rate, done my stats, all that sort of thing. I had to explain what was going on. Then I got sent out back to the waiting room again. About 30 minutes later I got called in by someone else, and they done an ECG on me, and then took my bloods, and then again got told to sit outside in the waiting room, and was told there was a long wait. I was in the waiting room for about 7 hours before I got seen by a doctor. Apparently there was only one doctor on duty that night. Anyway, after an extremely long wait, in and out of the waiting room, I was going outside, getting some air, coming back in. I was beginning to feel, oh, I don't know, I mean the fear of the chest pain itself, but then this not waiting was making me panic even more, you know, because I wanted to get in, I wanted to see someone, I wanted to know what was going on. You're told all the time on the news and in the papers and on the internet, if you have chest pain, get yourself to the hospital, get yourself checked out, which is quite rightly so. But if you're going into hospital, into A&E with chest pain, presenting these sort of symptoms, do you think that a doctor should see you a little bit more quickly than someone else with a broken finger, perhaps, I don't know. Anyway, it was, I don't know, somewhere 5 o'clock in the morning, between 5 and 6. I got called in to this one doctor. He told me to sit down. He told me my blood test had come back clear and my ECG was normal, and I looked at him with, well, I didn't know what to say. Okay, they were normal, but I was sat there in pain, you know, in my chest. So was that it? Was I just going to be... Anyway, a few days before, which I've just forgotten to tell you, is I had a chest x-ray done as well, you know, just to check that my heart wasn't enlarged or whatever it is that an x-ray can tell you on the heart. He looked at that as well and told me that was normal. Yes, fantastic, that's wonderful news for me, that is. Yeah, you know, everything that they've done so far has come back normal. So what was next? The tests had come back normal. I looked at him and I didn't know what to say, and I think he could tell that. So what he said, he was gonna request a follow-up with cardiology, which I've got on Tuesday, 10 o'clock, because I don't want it just to be left there. Okay, fantastic news, everything's come back normal, that's what we like to hear, but the pain was there, it was real. You know, I'd had a good day, I wasn't in a panic mode, I went to bed happy, I wasn't depressed, nothing like that, it was just good. So, what triggered it? I need to know more. I'm hoping it was nothing serious. But the paranoia now that it's left me in is overwhelming. Last night going to sleep, I took a couple of painkillers which helped me sleep quite solidly, but this morning I'm waking up and the first thing I thought about was my chest. You know, is there something wrong with me? Is it you can't escape that feeling that something is wrong. You know, we all know our own bodies and we know when something ain't right, and I can tell you this ain't right. So obviously having a couple of days off work now, as it's the weekend, I don't know what to do with myself. I know I should be taking it easy, but I still need to... It's not just about the 10,000 steps anymore, it's about just getting out and moving. You know, I need to. I can't... for those of you who don't know, what I'm doing at the minute, I'm not in my van at the minute, I'm staying at my son's house for a couple of days. He's graciously put me up, because if there's any one person that cares about me, it is Sam. So Sam, if you're watching this, mate, I really appreciate what you do for me. Anyway, yeah, so I'm staying at his for a while. So last Sunday, I disappeared up into Cambridgeshire, and I found a ruin of a church that I couldn't get into because there was some very angry peacocks in there. So I thought I'm not gonna risk going in this one. I'm gonna leave them to it. Maybe come back at a later date. Nice little place, lovely little ruin. I do wish I'd got in there. Anyway, after that, I sort of disappeared to somewhere else. And I found another church nearby, St Andrew's Church, I think it was. I can't even remember the name of the village, but what I do remember is I got to this St Andrew's Church and I sat there, and I just, something inside me just didn't feel right. You know, I wasn't in physical pain, I wasn't dizzy, I just felt off, like just completely disconnected somewhat. That's the only way I can put it. So I drove back to Stevenage, and I just gave up. I lost all motivation to go and see something. I just, like I say, I can't explain it. I drove back, I had a little bit of a rant, you know, in front of the camera about what was going on, but I never uploaded any of it. I left it because I thought it would make shit footage. I've still got it, so I don't know, maybe I'll tap it onto this video or something. I don't know. So anyway, yeah, like I say, last Sunday I did go out. I did have a little bit of a walk. I mean, I still done my steps, but I didn't record any of it apart from a little bit at the church. But I don't really know where I'm going with this. All I know is that I felt unwell, not physically, but definitely mentally, definitely. And I don't know why. I'm doing all the things that I'm meant to do. I'm getting out and about, I'm walking, I'm eating reasonably healthy. You know, I'm going to places where I feel most relaxed in the countryside, and I'm going to the churches and ruins and things. I get the occasional visit to Wales where I'm happy. So what else is going on? Trying to put it all together, trying to piece everything together, why I'm having these moments, I just don't know. I can't put my finger on it. You get on the internet, you go to Dr. Google, you type in your symptoms, but oh my God, it is impossible to self-diagnose, isn't it, on the internet? You know, I felt like an idiot in the past for going to a doctor's about mental health sort of stuff, you know, and I don't like the terminology mental health, because so many people these days are jumping on the bandwagon, using mental health as a get out of jail free card, so they can just fucking live a life of luxury, conning the state. Don't get me wrong, not everybody is like that, of course, and I sympathise with everyone that's got true mental health issues, but I think it has become too easy to get on that bandwagon, and you've got to be very, very careful. So I don't know. So how do I feel now? Well, I still have an achy chest and my shoulders hurt. It's strange. The pain is sort of radiating backwards and forwards, you know. Sometimes it's just at the front, sometimes it's in my back, sometimes it's in the shoulders, sometimes it's in the arm, you know. It's not fixed, but I feel like I've been lifting weights for a day and then suffering, you know, the day after. I guess that's the only way I can explain it. I mean, my heart rate as I'm driving is 74, so it's not exceptionally high. It doesn't hurt to breathe in, but I think most of it right now at this point is definitely mentally. Every nice thing that I'm looking at while I'm out in Cambridgeshire now, I'm having to drive around some tiny little hamlets. I ain't got out and walked or anything yet. I'm just taking it in. But anyway, anytime I see something nice, it's hampered now. It's tainted by the fact that I might have something wrong with me, you know, and I can't get that feeling out of my head at all. Again, I'm sat here recording all these things, telling you where I am and what I'm doing, right? And I keep making a balls up of it, and I start to get on this little bit of a rant, and I just go, for fuck's sake, Gary, stop, you know? Oh, I'm really no good at this. Anyway, I'm at Furfield Heath now. I have been here before. If you've watched all of my videos, you know there's a big area of countryside, which is pretty nice and got really nice views, and it's a nice day today. The McDonald's just down there. So I swung by and got a coffee. So I'm going to sit here, enjoy this, and then maybe have a amble around here. There is a few cars in the car park, but it should be okay for just having a quick amble around, I think. Was it wise coming out to do a walk like this? I mean, there's quite a few hills around here. I've just attacked one climb, and my heart rate at the minute is hovering around the 100 mark, and I ain't too much out of breath, no more than usual anyway, so I think I'm managing okay at the minute. I'm not suffering with any chest pain as such. Feels stiff, you know, a bit of stiffness in my neck and my back, but could be just muscular. I don't know. If I was just to sit back at Sam's house watching the telly, I think I'd be more agitated doing that than being out and about. So I'm just going to take it easy. I ain't going to, you know, work my socks off. If I begin to feel a bit rough, I'll just stop and take a break, I guess. Yeah, definitely the biggest thing about having chest pain and having this undiagnosed problem is that extreme paranoia. So I'm walking up here now. I just feel a little bit tight in the chest, and there's in my left shoulder blade. It's not a pain. It's like feels like someone's pushing their finger into the back of my shoulder blade. It's quite a bizarre thing. Like I say, it's not a pain. It's just like it's not even an ache. It just feels like, yeah, like somebody's poking me in the back. It's quite bizarre. But you can't help but overthink. Is there something wrong? Is it a muscular problem? Is it because of my posture? I know my posture's well out. I'm slightly hunched forwards. I've got a curvature of the spine, and obviously I've got one leg shorter than the other because of the hip problem. So is it all that that's making me feel this way, or is it the worst case scenario? And obviously in my mind, and a lot of humans' mind, if you had the same problem, you'd always be thinking the worst. And that's where I am, thinking that it's a major heart concern. I can't wait for Tuesday to get these tests done and hopefully give me some answers. Yeah, it really does feel all like doom and gloom, you know. And I didn't want my YouTube channel to be like that, but I think it's kind of evolved from what it has been and what it will be. You know, it's turned more of a it's about me, my experience, my vlogging, my, you know, my ideas, what's happening with me. Not just traveling around seeing nice things. It's about me, really, about my life. Like I say, I get a bit of satisfaction over recording things and logging my journey through life. I mean, not everyone's cup of tea. Some people still wonder why I do what I do, but for me it just provides a little bit of, I don't know, a little bit of enjoyment somehow, you know. I can't explain it. Now I don't know whether you can make that out, but that's quite a steep hill that I've just took a shot of, and I'm gonna attack it, see if I can get up to the top. Don't feel too bad at the minute. Heart rate is 97, which is about normal really for going out on a walk, I think. Well, mind you, I've got to be careful here. This is yeah, I'm gonna have to move, change of plan. I'm right beside the Royston Golf Club course, and this way is where they hit the balls right across to a green that's just above me. So I think I'll avoid that route because there is a guy just teeing off. So change of plan. Well, if I don't die of a heart attack, I'd want to get I'd want to get knocked out by a golf ball. Another thing about recording these videos is I kind of like the idea that when I'm not around, my grandchildren can watch them. I mean, they're youngsters at the minute, mere babies, so you know, none of us know what's around the corner, but maybe if I'm not here and they get older, my children can show my grandchildren what sort of person I was, who I was, what I like to do. I kind of like that idea. Hopefully that won't be for a while yet, but you never know. I hope my kids can, well, my grandchildren can sit and go, yeah, that's my granddad, that is, yeah. Kind of like that idea. Well, I found the hill to tackle. A bit of an effort, but not too bad. Heart rate went up to 122, but that's to be expected really. It is nice up here today. Weather's fucking glorious, it is. Getting a bit warm now as well. It's nice to be out and about and not have soaking wet feet and coats and things on. Yeah, this is proper enjoyable today. I know I've come across very negative since the beginning of this video, so I think I'm not going to talk about health, heart rate, anything anymore. I'm just going to enjoy the rest of the day, hopefully. If you stuck with me for this long, thanks by the way. And if you've got any wonderful words of advice, now I know for a fact I've got people that watch me and don't leave me comments, fine, don't leave me a comment, but if you got some advice, anything to say to me, then get in touch with me on Instagram. My link is on the is it the community page or something? It is there, so you can find me relatively easy. And all messages of advice and help and appreciation are always greatly received. As you may be aware, I don't exactly have a vast empire of friends and people to talk to, so talking to people online is quite fulfilling. Again, that's one of them things that's probably odd for a lot of people, isn't it? What do you mean? You know, you're talking to strangers, but sometimes that's what you need. Sometimes, like when you go for a counselling session, it's good to get things off your chest from a third party, you know, from someone that's got no idea of what's going on, instead of talking to your own friends and family. Well, that's the way I see it anyway. So yeah, please get in touch with me. It'd be nice to have a chat with someone that'll keep me occupied a bit as well. So yeah, anyway, it's turning out rather nice now. I've come out, I've got supplies in the boot, but I didn't bring anything out with me. I kind of wish I brought the Jetboil now in the backpack with me. Could have quite happily sat out here. There's loads of logs about. I could have sat here and made a coffee. Decaf, of course, because I have got some. Anyway, what else is on the agenda for tomorrow? I have no idea. I don't know whether I'm coming out and about. I don't know. Ain't got a clue. I ain't thought that far ahead. I do feel I got so used to making a couple of videos a week on a Saturday and a Sunday. When I don't do them, I don't know, it's like I feel I should have done. Not for anybody's, you know, enjoyment, but for mine. So I don't know. We'll see how I feel in the morning. If it's a day like this, then I can see me getting out and about for another walk. I'd like to visit a church or something, but I think I'm just going to stay close to the local area. There we are. I've just done 3 miles walking around there. I quite like Furfield Heath. I think I might have to use that as a bit more of a regular place to come when I've got nothing to do, because it is, well, it's glorious, you know, and I can just nip down the bottom of the hill and get a McDonald's and sit up there with a coffee. So ticks the boxes, plus it weren't too busy. But as I was walking along, just after I first set off, the fucking golf ball landed about a metre in front of me. Oh my god, it gave me a fright. That could have quite easily hit me, you know. There are warning signs around though, you know, and it was a bit breezy up there. I don't blame the golfers, you know, it is what it is, isn't it? So, but yeah, that's a wonderful place to go for a walk. Highly recommend that. Where are we now? What's that? 25 to 11. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with the rest of the day yet. I think I've got a few more steps to do, only about 1,000 though, so they'll be done easily. So there's an abandoned pub just there. That would have been a good one to have a nosy around. Yeah, I'm going to start poodling back. I'm going to head towards Baldock, drive through Baldock, maybe hit some more country lanes, see if there's anything else I can go and have a quick nosy at before I trek back to Stevenage. But yeah, it's definitely a nice day to be out and about today. And it is really nice to get out without a coat and big boots and stuff, you know. Decent weather is finally here. Right, it's Sunday now. I didn't go anywhere else yesterday after I was heading back towards Stevenage. I can't remember how I left the video, but I just got back into Stevenage and got a couple of supplies. Had a look around the charity shop, had an amble round there. That was nice, that was quite pleasant. And then I went to see a mate for a little while. Anyway, so it's, what's that, coming up 7:30 Sunday morning now. I'm going to take a drive out and find a bit of countryside to go and have an amble around, somewhere relatively local, just to get them steps up. How am I feeling today? Well, I woke up and I had a really good night's sleep actually. Not, you know, I was well over 7 hours this time, which was rather pleasant for me. Yeah, I'm not in too much pain at the minute. I still feel a bit achy around the shoulders and yeah, but a bit, you know, just a bit achy at the top, around my chest and in my back. But I don't know whether I'm exacerbating it by thinking about it, because as soon as I wake up I'm thinking about it. It's like I'm focused on it all the time, you know, and I know that's probably not the most wisest thing to do, but you can't help it. When you have a pain in your chest, you're going to focus on it, aren't you, because you're always going to think the fucking worst. So all I can think about is I can't wait for Tuesday to get here quick enough so I can get down the cardiology department and have these tests done, and hopefully they can provide me with some answers. But it's that whole not knowing what's going on with me which is driving me absolutely insane, you know. And I keep fucking doing the wrong thing by looking on the internet as well, looking at Google, you know, googling chest pain even though tests are clear. And then I was reading other people's stories about they got sent to the emergency department with chest pains like what I did, and then they were waiting for their follow-up appointment with a cardio cardiologist, and then they had like massive fucking heart attacks before they actually got there. So, you know, obviously that threw my anxiety level through the roof. And I know you're trying to, you know, you're meant to try and take your mind off it by doing something else, thinking about something else. But trust me, when you go through this, it's not that fucking easy. You can't help it. You know, it'd be different if it was another ailment on your body. Yeah, but when it's down to your heart or your brain, then they're the two most important things that I think are in your body, aren't they? So if you think there's a problem with one of them, then you're kind of doomed. Anyway, I'm not going to rant on about that for the, you know, for now. I'm going to try and find somewhere to go for a walk, as I just said, and get me steps up, try and enjoy myself for the rest of the day. Well, I've come back to a place called Steeple Morden. I don't know if you can, the church that I was just at, I've done a tour of that one before, but never had a walk around the area. So I thought I'd stop off here and have an amble around. And it's so quiet. No one around at all, just the birds, that's all I can hear. Glorious morning it is, absolutely glorious. Not sure where I'm going, mind you. I'm just following a trail that goes around the edge of a farmer's field, so no doubt I'll end up getting lost at some point, I should think. I must say it's a pretty little place. Not very big, I don't think, but definitely a pretty little place to go for a walk. Joe, I'm going to get back onto a negative topic now. It's just following the news this morning of the war in the Middle East. Now the Iranians have attacked Israel. You know, I'm no expert when it comes to politics and war and all of that. I just think where we are in our evolution of mankind, I just can't believe that we're still having to do this, you know, to kill people, to blow things up. You know, I can't believe we've not evolved enough, considering of where we are, you know, in technology and space travel and I don't know, loads of different things, you know, but we're still having to blow people up, aren't we? You know, it's fucking awful, you know. The mind boggles over it, it really does, you know, with all that unfortunate loss of human life. It just bothers me. It bothers me so much, you know. I know I complain about my own life, but I sympathise with the people that are in these war-torn countries right now, you know, and all of our world leaders making decisions on sending out missiles and drones and I don't know. I think it's fucking horrific and barbaric. Like I say, I don't know the ins and outs of the reasons why. I know the Iranians are retaliating, aren't they, because one of their buildings got attacked in Israel or something. It's just that loss. Anyway, that's all I've got to say about that. I felt like I had to say something about it. You know, I do try and stay away from the news, but you can't help it sometimes. You know, people ask you a question, or you just happen to catch it in between listening to the radio. But I think the news can definitely put you on a downward spiral and really hamper your mood really easily. I wish I could just stay away from it completely. Maybe not knowing what's going on is beneficial. I don't know. I've just been talking to a woman in Steeple Morden as I was out on my walk, a dog walker. I just stopped, fussed her dog for a bit, and then she was telling me, you know, just chit chat really about what I was doing, you know, and where she was from and how long she's lived in Steeple Morden. And I'm so glad that I got an opportunity to talk to her. She's a lady of 79 years old. Although you wouldn't know it to look at her, she looked a lot younger than that, an awful lot younger. And she said, you know, since she retired, she got herself a dog and she's out walking all the time. But she's lived such an interesting life. And I says to her, that she should write a story because it'd make things, you know, interesting. And that just led her on to more and more things that she had to say. And she was fascinating. And I must have stood there with her for about 45 minutes having a chat with her, and that was wonderful, you know, that was so nice. And she was so on the level like myself, you know, with certain views and opinions and bits and pieces, you know. She was pretty much telling me that she feels that you can't voice your opinion now over certain things, and yeah, anyway, you get where I'm coming from. She's more old school, a bit like me, quite a lot like me, but obviously a lot more intelligent than me. But she was an absolute diamond to talk to. I liked that a lot. That was so good. It was just quite a relief for someone that was someone like me that doesn't really get that point across a lot with certain people. You just get condemned for it. But I don't even know how it started, but fair play on her. Anyway, that's made my day, that has. I hope she continues doing what she's doing and has a wonderful time living in Steeple Morden. Anyway, I'm moving off now. I'm coming out of Steeple Morden back into the countryside. I'm not sure where this road's going to take me, but I'm going to do a bit of exploring, see what I can find. Again, it's a lovely day for it. It really is. It's just like yesterday. Bright blue skies, 15 degrees at the minute. Yeah, I hope it lasts. Well, that was the Church of St James the Great in Hatley, St George. I found this one on the off chance, just driving through the country lanes, and pulled over really quickly and had a walk around the outside. Luckily, I think the lady that I just met was the church warden, so she come over and had a bit of a natter with her, and she offered to go and get the key and open it up for me because they keep it locked for security reasons. Apparently they've had trouble here in the past. All the churches in this area have, actually, which is really unfortunate. But yeah, I'm glad I got in there. Apparently it's steeped in history, according to the lady, but she couldn't stay with me too long and chat, so I'll have to have a look to see what it is. But yeah, what an incredible place. The churches that are out in the villages like this, in the middle of nowhere, they have so much more appeal than churches that are in busy towns, you know. I think the location of them, surrounded by country and, you know, the greenery, and it's just so peaceful. It's so nice. Anyway, yeah, that's that. I'm glad that I found that one. It was nice to get into a church again. I mean, I would have spent longer in there, but she was kind of waiting for me so she could lock up again, you know. So I felt obliged to be relatively quick, but I got a few pictures on the inside. Yeah, that was a good find, that one. Being out in the countryside is magnificent, but it would seem everybody has got the same idea today. I think wherever I'm going, I know of a few little car parks that I was going to go and fire up the Jetboil, and I was going to have a coffee and eat some noodles, but everywhere I've been in the area, you know, in the local area, I'm in a place called Henlow now, other people are there, and it is really busy. Even the country lanes are busy today. Everyone is out and about, you know. I think everyone is making the most of this glorious Sunday morning weather. So I'm not quite sure what my next move is. I'm just following my nose. I'm winging it at the minute. I mean, that was all my intentions for today, was just going to wing it anyway, so I'm going to carry on doing that. I mean, I am enjoying being out and about. I haven't walked anywhere near enough yet, but just being out doing this is wonderful. I mean, it is nice to see people out and about, and I'm just passing a park now and there's a football match going ahead, so that's nice. It's all good to see. Endless dog walkers everywhere. Now I think I found the ultimate location to stop and have a drink. Look at this. Let me show you around. Do you know, I can quite happily say that the Jetboil is probably one of my favourite gadgets when I'm out and about. It really don't take long to boil water, and what I do, I carry a little camping mug with me, and all I do is fill that up with cold water and then just decant that into the Jetboil. That way I'm only boiling what I need, and it don't take long at all. It's fucking awesome. And I've managed to find somewhere quiet, so I'm going to take a few minutes and enjoy the scenery and have a coffee. Right, well, I didn't find anywhere else to go. Everywhere is quite busy, which is fair enough because it is a wonderful day. So I decided just to come back to Stevenage, grab myself yet another cup of coffee, and I'm just going to go for a walk around the local area, I think, just to finish off my steps. I've nearly done them, nearly got there, but I'm not going to video any more of that. I'm just going to leave this one here. I know this weekend's video has been a bit of a mixture of, you know, me driving about and having a moan and talking about my health concerns, and I know it's not ideal. I know it's not, doesn't make for good watching or good content, but you know, I hope someone finds it interesting. And me, I'm going to look back on it, you know, in a year's time, if I'm still around, you know, and just reflect. You know, it's just like a log of what I'm doing, really. As I've said before, it's just me recording my journey, keeping myself sane by talking to a camera. Some may say that that's fucking odd, but I don't know what it is. I can't explain it. It's a little bit of comfort. I know there's a selected few people out there that do watch me, and shitloads of people that don't, and that's fair enough. But like I say, it's a comfort to me. It just I don't know, it's like, I don't know, it gives me motivation to get out there and do stuff. I like filming it, I like making a log of it, I like looking back at it. Not that I like watching myself talk, because I can't stand that, but I like looking at the locations that I've been, you know, so I can scan through my older videos and think, yeah, that was a good day, you know, and perhaps go back. But just talking behind the camera just brings me a little bit of joy, you know. It's just like a little stupid hobby of mine, you know. I try not to take it too seriously. I don't pay for any expensive editing gear. I use a relatively cheap program which works fine for me. The camera, I don't know if I've mentioned, on the GoPro Hero 12 now, so that's a major upgrade from the 8, and this was a Christmas present to me. Yeah, so anyway, yeah, I'm waffling now, aren't I? I think what I'm going to do next, I've got my appointment on Tuesday with a cardiologist to see what they say. I don't know what tests they're going to perform. I don't know whether I'll get the results there and then. I don't know whether I'll wait for it. I have no idea. So once I've had that appointment, I might record a little bit of footage just to, you know, just to tell you what I had done and what the next steps are, you know. But then hopefully, who knows, next week I'll be out and about again, doing what I like best, you know, doing what I do best. I've got a few locations starting to build up in my little book now of things I want to see. Dave has also been in touch with me again. He wants to meet up again in the next couple of weeks, which will be nice. Although I'm not sure whether I can fit that in, because I'm off to Wales again at the end of the month for 10 days, which I'm looking forward to. So yeah, anyway, see, I'm just waffling again. I have a habit of it, don't I? For the ones that watch me to the end, fair play on you, fair play, because I know a lot of people will be like, oh, bored now. Flick to the next video, something more interesting. Anyway, I'll catch you again real soon. Take care.